took a fairly significant chunk of his letter to explain some things that they needed to know about this very important doctrine. So 10 problems, and you'll need to have those 10 problems pretty much in mind. The big issue is not the problem itself, but the solution. What's the solution to this problem? Because I guarantee you, you are either struggling with that problem yourself, or you have a friend that's struggling with it, or somebody in your local church. And so not only can you identify the problem, but you'll also hopefully have some kind of a solution that you can say, here's what God thinks about this issue, and this is what will help. Sounds good, doesn't it? Very helpful stuff. All right. Understand that we're going to be dealing with those, and you'll need to be aware. This is problem number 7. This is problem number 1, that kind of thing. Textbook. Have you all seen this guy? This has been around forever. It's a good one. The only problem I have with it is that he's got some Greek stuff in there that I can't read. Okay? So whenever you come to one of those Greek words, you say tea kettle. Do you know how that is? Didn't you have that when you were a kid growing up? You couldn't pronounce a word, you just tea kettle it? No? Oh, that's an excellent reading technique. No, I sound like a... Yeah. For example, but really, to be that new batch, they must get rid of the old yeast, where Paul's verb tea kettle means clean out. See, there was a Greek word in there. I couldn't read it, so I tea kettled it. Well, you can do that. All right, that's fair. That's legitimate. Otherwise, follow along fairly closely with what we're doing here. Now, how do you know when to read what and how far you should be? Real simple. Number 1, I will tell you as we start a new section, by the end of the week, you should be up to page 35 in your reading. But you can also judge it this way, in that my introduction will match his introduction. My discussion about division in the local church will follow his section. And so you can keep track of it real easy. But try and have Morris read. Here's the problem. I go on rabbit trails. Any of you had me in class before? You remember those rabbit trails? Okay. And once in a while, they're fabulous, wonderful stuff. But once in a while, I get so carried away that I forget that I have a certain amount of material that we're supposed to cover, like 16 chapters. So I will get to about April 15th, and we'll be on chapter 8. And somebody will say, Leverance, are we going to ever cover 9 through 16? Oh, yeah, we will. And then I go like crazy. We'll get it all done. But, if you were keeping up with the reading, realize that at the end of the semester, you've got to read a lot more, a lot quicker, just because I'm kind of disorganized. Now, hopefully, Mr. Patton, who's doing the online stuff, will keep me on track a little bit. And never mind. You can figure it out. Morris. Read Morris. I'd like you to read through 1 Corinthians 3 times this semester. That is not hard. But what I'd like you to do is to read it in 3 different translations. Okay? So maybe you'll start out with NIV, and then you need to go to NASB, and then KJV, and that's your 3. Or, if Alejandra, maybe she wants to use your Spanish Bible for 1. And yes, sir. Yeah, sure, that'd be great. But you got to listen to it 3 times and in 3 different translations. Does that make sense? Okay, any questions about any of this so far? This has been really tough.